Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for August 12th. Currently looking at the U.S.-Japanese yen pair. This particular pair formed a doji bar today. Closed up overall, but nonetheless moving sideways with a bias that is sideways. Look for this pair to possibly go as high as 97.33, possibly as low as 94.43. Look for some resistance around 96.75. And look for some support around 95.10. Now let's take a look at the Euro-USD pair. This particular pair closed up today. It is moving sideways, biased as sideways overall. Look for this pair to move as possibly as high as 143.33, possibly as low as 1,4000. Look for some resistance around 142.19, and look for some support around 141.40. Now, switching to the pound US dollar pair, this particular pair formed its second doji bar in a row, definitely within some previous support and resistance areas if you look historically to when this particular pair was moving sideways. I believe we're going to see a breakout. Not sure if it'll be to the downside or to the upside, but if we continue moving sideways within this range, I'd be kind of surprised about that. Definitely look for this pair to go as high as 66.68, possibly as low as 162.77. Look for some resistance around 165.59, and look for some support around 163.88 in this particular pair. Now, switching to the US Swiss, this pair closed down, is starting to move lower. Do believe that we will hit down to around this point, previous resistance for this session and this session, previous support for some of the others. I do believe that this pair will move to that point. Look for this pair, though, to potentially move as high as 1.0921, possibly as low as 1.0663. Look for some resistance around 1.0796, and look for some support around 1.0731 in this particular pair. Now we have the U.S. FOMC rate decision today. The decision was to hold the rate at 0.25%. Not a huge shock there. As you can see, it really didn't affect the market. Gave it a little bit of a whipsaw, but nothing out of the ordinary. Going into tomorrow's session, we have the Euro releasing their GDP report for the second quarter at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus is that things have dropped or gotten better in the second quarter from negative 2.5% to negative 0.5%. Year to date, though, things have worsened from negative 4.9% down to negative 5.1%. The U.S. also has a news announcement tomorrow. They're having their advanced retail sales for July being released at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember that the advanced retail sales is fourth in line as far as the ability to move the market. We have rate decisions, we have unemployment, the CPI, and then the advanced retail sales is fourth. So you definitely need to keep an eye on it. Consensus on this one, though, is that it's moved higher, but moved lower, but just by a little bit, from 0.6% down to 0.5%. So overall, not that big of a jump, and shouldn't, if it comes out as expected, affect the market all that much. Now, what am I looking for during this next session? We kind of had a preview of it. You should have, I guess, erased that ahead of time. I'm sure some of y'all had some questions. They're looking at the Euro-USD. If you draw a trend line, we pretty much tagged that right here, got close here and here. Drew a breakout line looking for a buy. This is the 142.47 mark. As you can see, it runs right along previous resistance lines. If we get a break of that, let me zoom out just a little bit further. Get a break of that, you can look for this pair to move higher around the 50 pip mark or so. You need to go ahead and move to break even because you're hitting basically the tops of previous resistance in the past. But if we go to break even at 50 pips and then continue higher, we should get up to the 162 area of of resistance before we really start, at least the 100. Basically, when you hit 50, go to break even. When you hit 100 pips up, go to 50 pips in profit. Then when you hit 150, go ahead and exit the trade for that particular trade. If you're looking as far as where you should put your stop loss, you can put your stop loss. One place to put it would be around the 143 mark below our trend line here if it gets a break above that. I do believe that we'll get a break, and if it continues higher over the next session or two, that's where we will have the trade triggered. So that's just a quick little trade, about a 1-to-1 risk to reward on this one. So definitely keep an eye on it. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.